What is up, everybody? This is Tikoy, also known as Richard, and today we're coming to you with another casted game, playing as the Holy Roman Empire against the mirror matchup against Exu on the map Dry Arabia. Now, a nice thing about this specific round, it's going to give you a nice explanation of the two different playstyles that you get that are very prominent right now as the Holy Roman Empire, and why it's important to actually scout out and actually get information so you know how to counter and how to prepare. So first things first, we get our sheep bound, or our scout that collects the sheep bound to control 1. Town center control 2, and the first thing you do is you train a prelate. You have your sheep or your villagers on your first sheep, and then you have to position your second and third sheep or the other sheep that you bring back in a position where you know you can actually use them um, with a resource. There's two options that you have as the Holy Roman Empire, especially at the start. That's going to be your Archon Chapel and your Mineswork Palace. Now, the Mineswork Palace works as a blacksmith, but it reduces the cost significantly, I think by 20% or 25%. Um, Especially like siege engineering and marching drills, which are very common upgrades that you can get from the blacksmith and so on. It's very nice if you have this one with an earlier rush tactic, right? Then Archon Chapel works as inspires a large radius as long as the prelate is garrisoned, and a prelate is a unique unit that can actually be trained from the Dark Age by the town center. Not your mosques, your religious buildings, your monasteries. They can also produce prelates and get some unique upgrades to the prelates. But let's get into this. We're gonna probably go with the Archon Chapel on our side, but I'm gonna let this play out from my perspective so you can see exactly what's going on. We'll have a look at the scout here. An important part is going to find these relics. A relic unit can pick up the relic and place it in a religious building to generate gold. With the Holy Roman Empire, it's not just religious buildings. You can place it within your keeps, within your outposts, within your town centers. They buff up your town centers, your keeps, your outposts, make them a bit stronger, gives them more vision, and makes you overall gain gold from them as well. So a really, really important strategy of the Holy Roman Empire is to play into these um, relics as soon as possible. And we have a nice spawn here. We have one down here at the bottom, a second one all the way back here. Very safe for us to get to early on in this game. One prelate out, and as you can see, the villagers moved over from the sheep there to the sheep here. Move the sheep closer so we can actually focus on this wood line. So we are going to go with the Archon Chapel, and the gold won't be able to be reached in that same vicinity. Now, another thing is when you inspire your villagers, make sure you move a inspired villager over in this early game to gold, because that's going to make sure the villagers has that upgrade of the inspiration bonus that's permanent, where you drop off 14 resources because they've already been inspired once. They work 40% faster for 30 seconds when they've been inspired. Um, but if the inspiration drops, they still get that bonus of dropping off 14 resources instead of, you can see 14 on all your resources. There we found another relic up here. Just scouting out for sheep, nothing crazy right now. And we just want to make sure we don't run out of sheep. And you can see how quickly we get a food advantage just compared to other options if you go for wood or so on. Just make sure you get your second age quick. I found a lot of people do it with 3 villagers, but I found 4 on gold is easier, and then building this with 3 to 4 villagers, your landmark with 3 to 4 villagers. That's going to give you the fastest and most consistent progress towards the feudal age. I've tried 2 villagers, I've tried 3 villagers, and the nice thing is once you have a few on food, you start trickling in villagers onto wood, or immediately as soon as this Archon Chapel is done, you start sending these villagers that's done with the Arkham Chapel onto your wood line, right? So that's the one strategy. The second strategy, let's hop over to Esku here. He's very minimal on food. He is starting with that wood investment very early on, and he's actually going for the Mineswerk Palace. And it's a German faction, so I think it's a Mainzwerk Palace, if that's the right pronunciation, I think. So he has 4 on wood. He has the 5 on sheep, the initial 5. 3 villagers that's building the landmark, and you can see it's trickling more into the woodland. But the problem is these villagers aren't all getting inspired as they getting past. I think there's 1 or 2 of them that wasn't. So make sure your villagers are inspired. So he goes over to gold now to work with these villagers because he does not have. You see, he has to train another prelate, so he's using more gold. And that prelate is probably going to be around this area, so you can keep the inspiration going on the wood and the food, so you can actually work at it faster. It's the right thing to do, so a good tactic from him. So on our side, we see he did scout us out. We did drop off our sheep, and we're on our way now to go actually scout him out to see if we can find any other of the relics that's on the map. There's one here at the back that we did eventually find, but the thing is, at this point of the game, right, I have my credit, I have the food, and you can see I'm not spending anything because I don't have any information yet. So that's the only reason why I'm sitting on resources. I did the same with the prelate here, and because I have the second prelate inside here, I'm inspiring all of these villagers the whole time. They don't have to keep getting over inspired. It just repeats the buff the whole time. The only villagers that are not inspired is this little berries here at the back. But a really good cover of inspiration and a really good job on his side as well, you know. So we're saving up the gold, we're saving up the food, and we do get the wheelbarrow upgrade because I think that's the strongest version of the Holy Roman Empire you're going to get in the early game. And then you have to decide, okay, there's 2 strategies, like I said. Either you're going to boom into Imperial Age and trickle units in and keep upgrading them and keep just phasing off the enemy the whole time, right? Or you're going to go for a rush tactic. Now, Esku decided to go for a rush tactic. Now, this specifically, the Holy Roman Empire focuses on strong military units, but specifically infantry. Now, the barracks gives you obviously spearmen in the first age, but you have in the feudal age early men at arms and hardened spearmen that you can train. A hardened spearman, you have to upgrade it, so just take note of that. But in the feudal age, you have these early men at arms, and they are formidably strong. Same cost all the way through. 100 food and 20 gold, and they take 22 seconds to train each. And then the Lankinets is in the Castle Age and the Elite Lankinets. So those are the military units. They would technically work like a cavalry type of damage, but it's spread, so it's not a single target. It's an area of effect damage. So a few of them mixed into your army does a lot of damage. They are really, really good with how they deal damage, and with a few men at arms to beef them up and not target them down. It is really nice to have an army like that. But let's just keep playing this through. So you can see he goes for the marching drill upgrades and immediately siege engineering. Perfect place style here from Esku. He's investing into heavy wood. I would have invested this wood into more food so I can get these what do you call it, early men at arms out quicker. So we do scout out the double barracks. From our perspective, we have scouted out all around his base now. We did spot the double barracks. But at the bottom of the day, or you're saving wood by not investing into a blacksmith here, but you have these upgrades that are possible here. The nice one to get as well is boomery, and also iron undermesh. If you're going for this early rush, that's very important because those upgrades you will make your life a lot easier. To do a bit more damage and to take a bit less damage from like the town center and so on. So on my side again, we're already rushing into the Reginald's Cathedral, and at the same time we're going to send our prelate out to this relic that's at the back here. And the second prelate that was inside garrisoned in here, there he comes. He's going to go out immediately to the relic that's down here. There we go. So we're going to pick up those two relics immediately. And we saw the double barracks, so we know we need some form of defense, but archers won't cut it, right? Spearmen won't last. They can't do much against mass men-at-arms. So we do get the barracks up. We are speed building this with 10 villagers to get this Reginald Cathedral. And you get a little bonus per age on your units. They don't just stay the same. They do get a little bit stronger per age that you do go up. So we pick up the first relic, we pick up the second relic. Now the relics in the Reginald Cathedral gives 200% gold every minute, holds 3 relics. Buildings gain the emergency repair ability while within the influence of the town center. That is this little Roman sheet right here. So we can use that by just going on here and then pressing V once a building gets damaged, and it repairs itself 150 health every 1 second for 20 seconds. It can really pump out good repairs on these early rushes. So in a mirror matchup like this, I'm not too scared of it, but I'm trying to get the men-at-arms upgrade, so my men-at-arms are actually stronger, and then I'm gonna get these men-at-arms out and probably go for the heavy maces, so we know that when we train men-at-arms, they are actually strong enough to deal with the enemy men-at-arms. So we have our forward scout here. We see this little rush coming in from him. A few archers wouldn't have hurt if you had them here. It probably would have made a big difference. And a nice thing he does, I did not see that he started up a scout here, so my scout dies. But he has the prelates supporting this army, and the prelates are there to heal his units, and he's bringing 3 prelates. So I've never seen it done this well before, like with the prelates. I trained a few crossbowmen, which I am able to do, and I do have the resources now for it because of the extra gold I'm getting from the Reginald Cathedral. So a few crossbow, we have the double barracks, and we're going for, you literally have 1 men-at-arms, right? So we don't have enough men-at-arms because we go for the heavy mace upgrade actually first. So this single man-at-arms, once that upgrade is done, let's see what happens. So he keeps 12 damage, but it does +6 versus heavy. So against these heavy men-at-arms, he's going to do 20 damage each, and he still has 155 health because it's upgraded, and theirs are only 120. So at this point I'm losing the fight, and he's just pounding out. I'm just pumping out men-at-arms here, trying to get rid of this, and he backs off. I'm not sure why he backs off his men-at-arms, right? We didn't do much damage there, so he's just picking off the buildings here. But I use the prelate to come forward here, taking a chance. It's not always going to work, and I just get outside of the wall. I see his units move toward me, and we go for the little Wololo conversion. And he didn't respond in time, and we actually convert his whole army. I'm really sorry about SQ. I remember when this happened, he was saying, "Oh crap, I didn't look. So I just get my prelates back to safety. I am in the castle age, but this whole army actually gets upgraded to men-at-arms with the mace upgrade because they fall under my upgrades that are applicable to what I've researched. And at the same time, it was his army that trained the units for me. So thank you very much, SQ, for training this army for me. But at this point of the game, I'm like, okay, cool. What do we do now? Because we do have these upgraded men-at-arms. So this is kind of what I want to show you in the different strategies, right? So we did go for the Reginald Cathedral first. We speed build the market here so we can econ a little bit better. At this point, SQ is not very happy because we've accidentally stole his whole army here. We killed 3 prelates. We took how many men-at-arms of this? This is 14 men-at-arms. Let's say 10 men-at-arms was the number that we took, right? That's 1,000 food and 200 gold, plus the 3 prelates, 500 gold, so 1,000 food, 500 gold that he lost in the early game, right? Now, because we have the 2 extra relics in here, look how quickly our gold is going up. We're sitting on 2,200 gold with 4 villagers on the gold mark. It's unbelievably strong, the amount of resources you get by training this. Even if you have to go into heavy food, divert all of these villagers into food or into like a close deer hunt like this, you can just go with this villagers, train up some stables, and just go for like 30 or 40, what do you call it, lancers in the castle age, and really, really put some pressure on your enemy. So right now we have this little army. We do actually have one of those land cannons. You can see it's 17 damage compared to the 13 from the men-at-arms. But if it's heavy units, the men-at-arms are actually doing more damage. But the land cannon is spreading the damage. So we use that army. We know he has forward food, which was a bad idea for me, but we bring that forward down by sending that military in. But you can see how strong they are. I don't even think we have a blacksmith out. The blacksmith is only starting to go out, so we have no other upgrades than the standard upgrade from early men-at-arms to men-at-arms. It's 120 to 155 and 3 to 4 damage, so they do virtually, if they do 11 damage and we have 4 armor, they only do 6 damage each. And he doesn't have the numbers, you know, even the full fire of 16 villagers on this men-at-arms is not even taking damage. So we cut off his food supply, you know, he's didn't get this outpost finished, he's trying to get wood, and at this point it's basically GG, because he has no way of investing any of those resources into fighting us, right? Look back at the base, we just went straight into a speed build for the Palace of Swabia, because the Palace of Swabia is 75% cheaper and 75% faster at producing villagers. Some people forget that if you want to train villagers quickly, rather just mass queue the Palace of Swabia, because it's 13 food per villager. You don't even need to train with your own town center anymore. You can just use this, and you'll see a big villager lead very shortly if you get that out. So now we're cutting off his food supply, setting forth some new men-at-arms, still stuck in the second age by what happened with this army. And you know, we cut off his food supply, so he's not going to get the food he needs to get into the what do you call it, into the castle age. And it's very, very difficult at this point in stage. You can see how strong these men-at-arms are. Now they're sitting on 25 damage, that's when they're sieging. I don't think we have another one to kind of show anything else. Yeah. So on the siege they have 20 fire damage, that's pretty standard, I guess. And the defense and the attack stays pretty much the same. But yeah, we get the Palace of Swabia out, and now we are just pumping out villagers. Very, very stable economy, very strong gold. We did wall off here at the back, and we were starting to send villagers over to go for the deer. You can see there was just some idle villagers here. There's one that was sitting on the food. We just sent them to gold. But GG called, so do check out your enemies, scout out so you can prepare properly. If you can get that wonderful little Wololos in, please do try it. It is so satisfying when you get it off. But thank you very much for watching, guys, and I hope you guys have a nice day. Please come back for some more videos, and do leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.